Victory. Donald Trump just got NATO to do one thing every other president has failed on. While the mainstream media has been obsessing about fake news outlets like CNN, New York Times, and Washington Post, President Trump just managed to pull off a win in NATO that Obama could only dream of. Every NATO member, other than the United States, will be forced to increase their pay 4.3% per year. Talk about the Trump bump. This is a massive victory for the United States and the whole world. We finally won't be screwed by our allies anymore. Today, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg announced that in 2017 we foresee an even greater annual increase of 4.3%. We are really shifting gears. The trend is up and we intend to keep it up. Sure, 4.3% may not seem like a ton at first, but think about it like this. In the next year, that's a whole extra $12 billion. Not only that, it actually sets a real standard to force the others to catch up on their bills. This all came as a result of Trump's historic NATO meeting this year, where he said the U.S. is sick and tired of paying 66% of the defense budget that we never use. It turns out that the NATO chief is a big fan of Trump's policies, and now it is showing that's a huge win. Does NATO serve a purpose? Sure, it protects Europe from another invasion. However, we saved them from the last one and are now expected to pay forever? That's crap. Are you tired of all this winning yet? Yeah, but I'd like to know how it's reduced for us. We'll take a little snippet of this. It's really just, gobbledygook of this.
And on NATO's eastern and southern borders. These grave security concerns are the same reason that I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations.
They're thrilled with
But
that.
23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they're supposed to be paying for their defense.
He's confused.
This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States.
Confusion.
And many of these nations owe massive amounts of money from past years.
Really?
And not paying.
Obama didn't care.
Years. Over the last 8 years, the United States spent more on defense than all other NATO countries combined. If all NATO members had spent just 2% of their GDP on defense last year, we would have had another $119 billion for our collective defense and for the financing of additional NATO reserves. We should recognize that with these chronic underpayments and growing threats, even 2% of GDP is insufficient to close the gaps in modernizing, readiness, and the size of forces. We have to make up for the many years lost. 2% is the bare minimum for confronting today's very real and very vicious threats. If NATO countries made their full and complete contributions, then NATO would be even stronger than it is today.
Which I don't agree with.
From the threat of terrorism.
Yeah, okay.
I want to extend my appreciation to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum in New York for contributing this remnant of the North Tower, as well as to Chancellor Merkel.
Yeah, the other criminal
and the
in
German
charge.
people for donating this portion of the Berlin Wall. It is truly fitting that these two artifacts now reside here so close together at the new NATO headquarters. And I never asked once what the new NATO headquarters cost. I refused to do that. But it is beautiful. Each one marks a pivotal event in the history of this alliance and in the eternal battle between good and evil. On one side, a testament to the triumph of our ideals over a totalitarian communist ideology bent on the oppression.
That was Bernie Sanders. The communist ideology, Bernie Sanders. There you have it. Anyway, I don't believe in NATO, and they don't explain how much less America is obligated to pay. I mean, what is this? Like, in other words, we're making them pay higher, you know, their fair share, but we're continuing making the same payments? I mean, really? I think NATO is a waste of time. And look at the things they built, okay? So they're not helping people. They're not helping the people. They built the thing, and the people are starving. I mean, you want to make NATO powerful? In what way? In what way? That's like towards the one world government. That's all NATO is. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.